Hi, I'm Chris Pollock, and welcome to part 3. Well, after you sat through that exciting 8 minutes of me sanding, I figured this tape I'm going to break it down pretty much more and show you the fixtures. And while thinking about it, I decided that the easiest way to show the fixtures might be just to show you my process of getting from the initial template to the making the templates for the tooling in Jigs, and my process of doing it, where you might, I think you'll come away with more, and it will enable you to get the process of making jigs and how to get there down a little bit better. So first, what I start off doing is making a drawing, and the drawing that I will do of the piece, I do it on a plastic stuff called see-through roller makes. It's a plastic that's got little graph squares, quarter-inch squares on it. I forget the exact name of it though, but as you can see here, I use this see-through for a lot of purposes. I also use it, like here I traced it out and I have my bracing template laid out on it. There's pieces here that I cut out for the neck profile. Then right here you can see where I had originally drawn, worked with some shape drawing designs, and then when I came to something that I liked and spaced out, I cut it off halfway. And then once it's cut off halfway, then I have a 1/4-inch MDF, 2 pieces that I would have, with double stick tape, glued them together, traced it on there, then took it over and cut it out to shape. And touched up the lines on the spindle sander, oscillating spindle sander. Then once I have that, I have my rough shape of my template. When I was at this stage, then I took it over to the first router jig. Now this jig is made up of obviously the clamps, the hold on clamps. It was constructed out of melamine. Originally, obviously it was square, and I cut out these 2 square sections on a bandsaw so that the router bit later could go in there. And then I had placed the templates halves like that on there, and then I used my router tape. Then I drew the line out around there and cut it freehand out to get close to the line so it wasn't so much overhang. Then I used a pattern cutting bit in the router where the bearing rode on top bearing, and then went around, and that's what formed the jig. Then I adhered some sandpaper to prevent any slipping off of the plastic of the melamine to help grip it a little bit more. Then I took it over to router, as you saw in the first process with the blank. I put a blank into there, and I made initially, which was the actual template for the bridge shape. Now that I've established a working template, in this case, this is made out of 1/4-inch MDF, I'll move to a technique that I use for making also outside molds and bending forms. It involves a router inlay kit. This is a router inlay kit that is manufactured and made by Whiteside. You can get them at Woodcraft. Also, I saw the Harbor Freight sells a kit now, but I haven't used that. But it consists of a 1/8 inch spiral down cut bit. This is a centering post for you put this in your router, then when you put your collar in, it goes there and it makes sure it's centered. That's just for setup. And then you have the collar ring. Then you have a collar which has a 5/16 inch OD, and then you have another bushing that slides on top of that. with a little O-ring in there, and it has a 9/16 OD. Now I've taken the template and I've screwed it down through another solid piece of 1/4" MDF. I've installed the collar and the 1/8" bit into the router. Now without the extra donut collar, the donut put on, there's just the bare 5/16 collar. It's an 1/8" cut out of the router. I'm going to route around the template. And I will route in a counterclockwise. If you go clockwise, the router will have a tendency to wander off. And by going counterclockwise, it holds the router tight up against the form. If you try to do it the other way, you're going to come like to this end here and you're going to wander off, or you're going to wander out here. But going counterclockwise will pull it into the template. I've already gone ahead and lowered my router bit and done 2 more sweeps or passes at the form, and now this is all the way cut through, so I'll remove my original template. This is scrap, and that leaves me with this template, which is oversized. Now the process will be putting this template on here. And then we take the donut and apply that. Once the donut is put onto the inlay collar, I will now route in a clockwise direction around using the previous form. When routing this template, you could start from the inside and then go ahead and push it out to the outside, then go clockwise, because this is all just scrap and cut out area here anyhow. Whereas on the first operation without the donut, when you're going in the counterclockwise direction, you have to pretty much go straight down and hold it square and around, because if you wobble, you're going to wobble into this cut here and mess this template up. You could start in the middle of the cut area and plunge down. Then bring it over. I guess you also noticed I use a foot switch all the time with my routers. And there you have the second template. Razor blade, and I can deburr the edges or clean them up. Now, as you can see, this is the original template. It inlays perfectly. It's a perfect fit into there. Now this is the pieces I made for holding the work piece and those two jigs that I have.